Rain poured in silver sheets over the glowing city of Ardent Prime, where neon lights flickered against wet pavement and smoke curled from sore vents like restless spirits. Dax Mercer, ex-military and current nobody, had just exited a run-down diner, tucking a stimpak into his coat pocket. His plans for the night were simple: go home, sleep, and ignore the crumbling world around him. But fate had other plans. A scream cut through the rain, sharp and desperate. Dax's head snapped toward the alley across the street. 3 thugs in tattered synth leather had cornered a woman, petite, cloaked, and clearly out of place. One grabbed her arm. She slapped him, but he only laughed. Dax moved before he thought. His boots splashed through puddles as he crossed the street and entered the alley. "Let her go," he said, voice low and calm. The biggest thug turned. "Back off, vet. This ain't your business." Dax reached inside his coat. "Last warning." The thug lunged. Dax sidestepped, jabbed once, and the man crumpled. The second tried to come from behind. Dax spun, caught him in the gut, and smashed his head into the wall. The third thug hesitated, glanced at the woman, then ran. Breathing heavily, Dax looked at her. Her hood had fallen during the scuffle, revealing pale golden hair, like spun sunlight, and eyes, emerald green and unreadable. "You all right?" he asked. "Yes," she replied softly, pulling the hood back up. "Thank you." Dax nodded and turned to leave. "Wait," she said. "You didn't ask for anything. No reward, no name. That's rare." He shrugged. "Didn't do it for a reward." A small smile tugged at her lips. "Then come with me." Dax frowned. "Why?" "I'd like to repay you," she said. "And there are things you should know." Against every instinct, he followed her through the twisting alleyways and up into a sleek black vehicle waiting on silent hoverpads. The inside glowed faint blue and smelled faintly of ozone and jasmine. "This is not what I expected," Dax muttered. "I'm sure it isn't," she said, pulling back the hood. "My name is Serafina Vel Aurelian." The name hit him like a sledgehammer. Vel Aurelian, the name of the royal family that ruled the Andromedan systems. He stared, unable to process. "Your royalty." "I command empires," she said, with neither pride nor arrogance. "But tonight, I was almost taken like any common girl in the street. You didn't know who I was, yet you stepped in." Dax looked away. "Didn't matter who you were." "I know. That's exactly why I need someone like you." The hovercar soared above the cityscape, past towers wrapped in advertisements and airships ferrying corporate kings. They docked on the upper platform of a tower that dwarfed the rest. Inside, guards in black and silver bowed deeply as Serafina entered. Dax followed, feeling like a mud-splattered street dog in a cathedral. She led him into a circular chamber lit by stars. No, projections of real-time star maps. The galaxy in motion surrounded them. "I'm not just a figurehead," Serafina began. "I control 3 major sectors. But everything is fracturing. Someone inside my court wants me dead." Dax raised an eyebrow. "And you want me to, what? Be your bodyguard?" "No," she said. "I want you to be my blade. My shadow. My truth detector. You have no ties, no debts, no allegiance. That makes you incorruptible." "I'm no assassin." "I don't need an assassin," she said. "I need a soldier who won't flinch when the truth is ugly." Dax looked at her, this woman who had walked through darkness with her head held high, who ruled galaxies but had bled in an alley and accepted help from a stranger. He gave a slow nod. "I'm in." The weeks that followed were nothing short of surreal. Dax was fitted with bio-armor and integrated into her inner security team. But his true purpose was more subtle. He watched. He listened. He hunted whispers. And soon, he found them. High Lord Mr. Vash, her cousin and close advisor, had been siphoning resources, bribing minor system governors, and fostering quiet unrest in the border worlds. More damning, he was building a private fleet in the Ganeros Nebula. Dax brought the evidence to Serafina one night in her private war chamber. She stood by the window, looking out over the stars. "Show me," she said. He laid out the holofiles, data spikes, intercepted comms. When she finished, her face was carved in stone. "I loved him like a brother," she whispered. "I thought he loved our people." "Power changes people," Dax said quietly. "Or reveals them." She turned to him. "I'll need to make an example." "You want me to do it?" She hesitated. "No. This is for me." The next day, Mr. Vash was arrested in front of the High Council. Serafina stood tall and cold as she read out his crimes. There was no trial. Only exile to the dark moons of Athelion, where no one returned. Dax watched her closely afterward. Power was a poison for many. But in her, it only burned brighter. One night, while orbiting above the silent gas fields of Amreth, she asked him to walk with her on the viewing deck. "It's strange," she said, her voice barely above the hum of the engines. "All my life I've been surrounded by people. Advisors, guards, lovers. And yet, I've never felt safe. Until you." Dax didn't know what to say. He was just a man with a battered past, following orders again. But her eyes held him still. "Do you regret it?" she asked. "Regret what?" "Saving me. Getting involved." "No," he said. "Never." She stepped closer. "Even if this ends in war." "It's already a war," he replied. "At least now I know who I'm fighting for." Then she kissed him. Not like a queen, but like a woman who had hidden too long behind titles and masks. The rebellion came like a wave, coordinated, brutal, and almost beautiful in its symmetry. Vash's hidden fleets emerged from the nebulae, striking at trade routes and border planets. Several minor houses declared independence. Chaos threatened to unmake the empire. Serafina stood firm. With Dax by her side, she personally led the defense of the twin systems of Lyriat. Her strategy was unconventional: precision strikes, sabotage, winning hearts as much as territory. The people loved her not because she was noble, but because she bled beside them. During the final battle at the Rings of Toran, Dax flew alongside her in a strike ship. Vash's flagship loomed, a beast of dark alloy and wrath. "Ready?" she asked through the comms. "Always." They danced through fire and shrapnel, landed on the enemy bridge, and brought judgment with plasma and steel. Dax took a blade through the side for her. She repaid it by executing Vash herself, no hesitation in her eyes. When the battle ended, the empire was hers again. But she didn't crown herself empress. She dissolved the title. Rebuilt the council to include voices from the outer colonies. She chose to lead from among the people, not above them. Months later, in a quiet garden on one of the moons of Cyrillus, Dax sat with her under a glowing tree whose leaves shimmered like stars. "You changed everything," he said. She smiled. "We changed everything." "You still trust me?" he asked. "A stranger from the alleys." She leaned on his shoulder. "You defended me before you knew who I was. And then, when you knew everything, you stayed." He wrapped his arm around her. "I'd do it again." "You may have to," she whispered. "Empires don't rest." He smiled, then kissed her brow. "Neither do I."